How light is too light for mountain bike handlebars? Well, today we're gonna find out. Today I've got the Darimo Carbon Flatbar. Darimo is a Spanish manufacturer of really high-end weight weenie carbon goodies. And as part of the Santa Cruz Highball weight weenie build, I decided to buy these handlebars to bring the weight down closer to the sub 20-pound goal. Now, what I found when shopping for sort of weight weenie boutique products is that there isn't a ton of information out there from people who actually own them. You have to sort of scour forums and people say, yeah, they're great or they're trash. People who have no experience have opinions. And so I wanted to make this video mostly just to sort of do a quick overview, first impression of these handlebars. I'm not gonna be able to ride them today, not just yet. I will do a full review of the handlebars once I get some more miles on them, but just sort of give you some close-ups, some information, and some impressions on these really high-end, really lightweight handlebars. I figured this would be a good video to do that. So without further ado, let's get into the Darimo Carbon Flatbar. Darimo is a Spanish manufacturer, as I mentioned before. They make really high-end stuff, seat posts, handlebars, both road and mountain bike, stems. Some of their stuff is, well, most of their stuff is incredibly lightweight, some of it's incredibly expensive, but I think this is actually a pretty good deal for what you get. And they've been around for quite a while and seem to have a pretty good reputation in the industry for making not only lightweight products, but durable products as well. And alongside that, kind of innovative products. If you haven't seen their T1 Loop seat post, I recommend you check that out. It's a really kind of unique seat post. All that said, this is the Carbon MTB flat bar. It comes in a couple of different configurations. The width, you can get it fully custom. So you can go from 620 to 800 millimeters wide, although those sort of really short and really long widths are not standard. You have to special order them from Darimo and they will do that for you. You can get essentially whatever width you want. But in terms of in-stock options that you don't have to special order, you're looking at 680 millimeters on the short side to 760 millimeters on the very, well, wide side, more than the long side. This is a 740. I've been riding 750 on my highball, so I figured a little bit shorter would be just fine. And I didn't want to go longer with the 760, and you're not really supposed to cut these, so I figured 740 would be a better option than 760. You also have two different options for back sweeps. The back sweep is sort of how much the handlebar sweeps back towards the rider, right? For different, I guess, hand positions. You can either get a 9-degree or a 6-degree back sweep. This is a 6-degree back sweep specifically on this handlebar. And then in terms of finishes, you can either go with matte or glossy, and then you can either get unidirectional carbon, which is what I have here, or you can get 3K carbon, the kind of carbon weave. And then with regards to the logo right here, the Darimo logo, you can either go black, red, or really any color. Again, if you do it through them on their website, you can say, I want lime green or blue or whatever matches your bike. So you have a lot of options for customization, a lot of different options for, width, back sweep, finish, whatever. Darimo also basically has two different layup options similar to some other manufacturers. So the standard option, which is what you can buy stock, again, without contacting Darimo, has a rider plus luggage weight limit of 90 kilos, which is 190-ish pounds. I'll put the exact conversion down here below. So including, your gear, and I probably wouldn't use this for bike packing, but if you have a handlebar bag that's 30 pounds, that's gonna count against you as well too. So if you are a lightweight kind of cross-country guy, you're probably gonna be okay. If you're a bigger person, then you may want to go for something a little bit heftier. However, Darimo does say that if you want a handlebar without any weight limit, you just have to add 25 grams of weight in a sort of special layup that they do. So you contact them and say, hey, I want no weight limit, and then they'll make this handlebar with just a little bit more material, and it should, in theory, have no weight limit. According to Darimo, this has passed the ISO 4210 test, which is sort of the standard test for breakage of these sort of products. And they do say that they've gone up to 300 kilos before they've seen any splintering. I'm not 300 kilos, although, the force in a crash could be pretty high. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. And the ends of the handlebar are actually reinforced. You can see the sort of glossier part here, which Darimo says is done to prevent splintering in the case of an accident. So it does seem like there was some thought put into these handlebars, specifically with the goal of making them not only lightweight, but durable and safe, which is ultimately why I chose to go with such a lightweight handlebar. Speaking of weight, supposedly, these handlebars are 98 grams in the 740 millimeter width configuration, which is incredibly light. For comparison's sake, right, the Ibis handlebars I talked about in a previous video, those came in at about 230 grams for a 750 millimeter width. So 98 grams is really, really, really light. There are a few handlebars that are a smidge lighter. There's some that do dip into the high 80s. I believe Schmolke has one, but this is just about the lightest carbon handlebar you can buy. I mean, 98 grams. These, like, until you pick these up, it's really hard to explain just how friggin' light they feel. It really is incredible. Pricing for these guys. Now, here's the kind of interesting thing is that I haven't found any sort of US retailer for these handlebars. So you're gonna have to buy them from Europe. The good news for us in the US is that if you buy products directly from Europe, yes, you'll have to pay shipping, but you don't have to pay tax. In Europe, they don't have a sales tax. They have something called a value added tax, or VAT, which can be pretty hefty. However, if you purchase them from the United States, they don't have to, and they cannot charge you VAT because it's not being sold in Europe. So rather than 189 euros, and you have to get the conversion based on today, you're gonna be paying 158 euros. But either way, you're paying a little bit less than you would if you were in Europe. And for certain products that are sold in the US, if you buy them directly from Europe, yeah, you gotta pay the shipping and wait a little bit longer, but you can get a nice little discount. So I picked these up for 158 euros, whatever that is in dollars, which is a great deal. That's actually very cheap for high quality carbon handlebars of this weight. So with all that being said about the handlebars, let's go ahead and head over to the workbench. Let's do some close-up shots. Let's get some actual weights, because sometimes the weights do differ a little bit from what the manufacturers say. And then I'll just give you my overall impressions of the handlebar. So here we have the Darimo Flatbar. So you can see here, this is the matte version, which I think looks really nice. And I got it with the black logo right here. And this matte finish is carried all the way through until you get to the ends. These are the reinforced ends that I mentioned earlier, which should provide a little bit more protection in the case of a crash. These are a little bit shinier, but obviously your grips would be over here, so you're not gonna see them. Darimo, and made in Spain, ISO 4210-2, that's the test. And basically that's kind of their quality control. And yeah, really nice looking handlebar. I think it feels incredibly light in the hand. In the 740 millimeter configuration, the handlebar comes out to 104.3 grams, so about 5 grams above the advertised weight of 99 grams. So a little disappointing, that's a little bit overweight, not a huge deal, 5 grams. But yeah, still incredibly light, 104 grams for this handlebar. And yeah, I think it looks really great, and I'm excited to get it installed on the bike and see how it rides. So there you are. Darimo Carbon Flatbar. One more thing before I wrap up the video, I want to mention one more thing about the Darimo Flatbar. So it does come with a couple things in the box. You get some carbon paste just to make sure that you can get it all torqued up properly. And it does have these really nicely thought out instructions. And the interesting thing about this handlebar, so it tells you maximum torque specs, says 2 Newton meters max, which is pretty standard for kind of lightweight products, which is why they give you the carbon paste, because you might need that to make sure your stuff doesn't slip. But they also sort of have different maximum torques for different components. So it says for SRAM level brakes, apparently they have a different clamping pattern, which is a little bit more aggressive. So say 1 Newton meter max for those. And then for different stems, 3.5 Newton meters max, but they have 2 Newton meters max for a couple different stems, like the Extra Light, the Intend, and the Newman Evo. So, you know, good that they thought that out, and I'm glad that they give it to you so that you know exactly what you should and shouldn't be doing when installing the handlebar. All in all, impressed with the attention to detail and overall quality of Darimo, and this product in particular. All right, and there you have it, the Darimo Carbon Flatbar. I'm really rather impressed with this thing. I think it's hard to explain without handing it to you. Just holding this thing, it really genuinely feels like it shouldn't be this light, right? It really feels incredibly light. Darimo has a good reputation, so I'm trusting that it's going to be a solid handlebar. Hopefully it is. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to ride it just yet because I do need to install it first, and I want to get some miles on before I give you an actual informed review. I think it's going to be a great handlebar, and like I said, I can't wait to ride it. Let me know down below in the comments if you have any experience with any Darimo products or this product specifically. If you like them, don't like them, if you have any questions, ask me down below. I will respond to all your comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you later.